Have you ever spent the whole summer running around the yard with buckets of water, bags of fertilizer, and fighting weeds until you could barely stand on your feet? I used to live that way every single year. Weekends meant work, not rest. I thought gardening had to be constant effort. But one day I realized something simple. The plants should work for me, not the other way around. And that is when everything changed. A few years ago, I started looking into hardy perennials, plants that can handle themselves. Plants that do not ask for water every day or fertilizer every week. Plants that survive winter and come back strong without me hovering over them. And I found them. The best part is that fall is the perfect time to plant them. In this video, I am going to share my top 5 easy perennials that you should plant in fall. If you put them in the ground now, they will reward you with a garden full of color next spring and summer. No daily watering, no expensive fertilizers, just beauty that takes care of itself. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let me tell you exactly why fall planting is the secret to a carefree garden. And before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your gardening friends. It really helps the channel grow and keeps the tips coming. Now, let us talk about why fall is such a perfect time. When you plant in spring, young plants are fighting on 2 fronts. They need to grow new roots and at the same time put up leaves and flowers. The sun is already hot, the soil dries out quickly, and you are out there every day with the hose. Half of the plants give up before autumn even arrives. In fall, things are different. Temperatures are cooler, the soil still holds warmth from summer, and rains come more often. When you put a perennial in the ground now, it has weeks to quietly grow roots before winter sets in. It is not trying to bloom, it is not trying to grow tall. It is only focused on anchoring itself. By the time spring comes, the roots are strong and ready to fuel fast growth. In most regions, fall means natural watering. You do not need to drag hoses every day. A little bit of rain is enough. Even in drier places, the cooler air means moisture does not evaporate as quickly. I learned that fall planting saves me hours of work. And now the part you have been waiting for. Let us talk about the 5 hardy perennials that changed my garden. The first one is catnip, also called nepeta. Do not confuse it with the kind you buy for your cat. This is an ornamental plant that forms nice bushy clumps with lavender-purple flowers. I plant them about 16 inches apart. By late spring, the plants are already thick and about 20 inches high. They bloom from early summer all the way into August. Bees and butterflies love them, and the best part, they almost never need watering. I cut them back once after the first bloom, and they come right back. The second plant is sedum, also called stonecrop. If you have a dry, sunny corner where nothing else survives, sedum will thrive there. It has fleshy leaves that store water, so you can forget the hose. I plant sedum with the crown just at soil level. By late summer, it produces big pink flower clusters that last for weeks. Butterflies cover them when they bloom. And when frost comes, the dried flower heads still look decorative through winter. The third plant is hens and chicks, known by many as sempervivum. This one is a true survivor. One small rosette will multiply into a thick carpet within 2 years. I plant groups of 5 rosettes about 8 inches apart. By next season, they spread so much that weeds cannot even break through. They love well-drained soil, so if your spot is low and collects water, better plant them higher. No fertilizer, no watering, and they just keep multiplying. The fourth plant is Ligularia. I first used it for shady, wet areas where nothing else would grow. Ligularia produces large dark green leaves and tall yellow flower spikes in summer. It adds structure and bold texture to the garden. While it prefers moist soil, I hardly do anything for it. Once it is established, it takes care of itself. The fifth plant is Ajaga, also called bugleweed. This is one of the best ground covers I have ever grown. The variety Burgundy Glow makes a carpet of bronze and green leaves with cream edges. In spring, it sends up little blue flower spikes. It spreads fast, so you might need to keep it in check, but that is a small price to pay for a living mulch that keeps weeds away. These 5 plants together cover all types of garden spots: sunny and dry, shady and moist, open spaces, or ground cover. With them, I created a garden that blooms from spring through fall with almost no effort. Let me share a few tips that I learned about fall planting. First, prepare the ground a couple of weeks before planting. Pull out weeds with the roots, especially tough ones like dandelion or couchgrass. Loosen the soil with a shovel and let the rain settle it. Perennials love soft, well-prepared soil. Second, do not cram the plants too close. Catnip and Ligularia will spread a lot by the third year. Give them about 20 inches. Sedum and hens and chicks can be closer, around 10 inches apart. Ajiga will cover ground quickly, so place it where you want a carpet. Third, watering. After planting, I water every 3 days for the first 2 weeks, about a quart per plant. After that, nature takes over. By winter, the roots are already strong enough. In spring, they will burst into growth without me lifting a finger. Fourth, mulch wisely. I only mulch hens and chicks with a thin layer of compost to keep weeds out. The rest of the plants go through winter uncovered, even in cold regions. They are that tough. When I first tried this method, I was amazed by the results. The next spring, catnip was already blooming while other plants were still waking up. Sedum filled the sunny spot with bright clusters. Ajiga formed a colorful carpet. My garden looked alive by May and kept going until September. The difference in time spent was incredible. I used to spend about 12 hours every week on the garden. With these plants, I cut that down to 6 hours, and most of it was just light weeding and trimming. The financial savings were big, too. Before, I was buying fertilizers, pesticides, and new plants every year, easily spending a few $100s. Now I only buy a few new perennials every 3 years, just to add variety. The rest of the garden multiplies itself. Of course, I made mistakes, too. The first year I planted a juga too thick, and it started to crawl into the lawn. I solved that by putting in a plastic border. Another time I planted hens and chicks in a low spot where water collected and they rotted. Now, I only place them on higher ground or in containers. You learn as you go, but these are small issues compared to the benefits. So if you are tired of spending every weekend dragging hoses and spreading fertilizer, give fall planting a try. These 5 hardy perennials will reward you with a garden that blooms almost on its own. You can sit back, enjoy the view, and still get compliments from neighbors who wonder how you keep everything looking so good with so little effort. And remember, the clock is ticking. Fall planting needs to be done a few weeks before the ground freezes. That gives the roots enough time to settle in. Do not wait until it is too late. Pick up a few plants at the nursery this week and get them in the ground. Next spring, you will thank yourself. I would love to hear from you. What are your favorite low-maintenance perennials? Drop a comment below and let us share ideas. If you enjoyed this video and want more practical gardening tips, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Together we can build gardens that are beautiful, sustainable, and easy to care for. Thanks for watching, and happy fall planting.